This podcast is suitable for students between the ages of 16 to 25. If you're interested in self-improvement, productivity, study tips, this is the podcast for you. Welcome to the Sweet and Sour Podcast. My name is Abdulmumuni Hikmat. I'm a student just like you. I'm passionate about personal development and productivity. So, if this is your first time listening to this amazing voice, don't make it your last. If not, sweetie, you know how we roll now. Let me hear you say H to the I to the Q, to the M to the A and the T. H to the I to the Q, to the M to the A and the T. H to the I to the Q, to the M to the A and the T. Hey sweetie, so as promised, I'm here with a more detailed episode on the 80-20 rule. Now, the one on our Instagram page was limited to 1 minute because I am participating in a podcast challenge. So if you haven't liked and commented on that post, I urge you to do so, as this would give me a high chance of winning this challenge. So without further ado, let's get into it. The 80-20 rule is called the Pareto's principle, and actually I read this book called the 80-20 rule written by Koch, and that was where I knew most of the things that I'll be sharing today. So if you don't want to read the book, I'm just going to give you a summary of what the book says. It was founded by an Italian economist, Vilfredo Pareto, and Pareto noticed that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by 20% of the population, and 20% of the land was owned by 80% of the population. Basically, this principle can be applied successfully to your personal life as well as organization to help you achieve, maximum productivity. And it applies to various sectors in your life, like business, time management, personal productivity. All it's basically saying is that to get 80% of the results that you want, you have to work hard on the important 20. So let me give you various examples. Say for instance, you have a test or an exam and you have limited time to read a particular material. You can just focus on the high yield topics or the likely questions that would come out, because obviously you know that your lecturer is not going to ask you everything. He just wants to know if you know some certain things that would even carry high marks. So if you focus your energy, or if you have 1 hour to read and you focus for 5 minutes reading those high yield things, you get 80% of the result that you want, because now you focus on the high yield ones and they are the ones that will even carry higher marks. Or let's say you have a business or a brand now. 80% of your revenue would come from 20% of your customers. Trust me, if you've not noticed. You have these certain, they're not many, but they keep coming back. These customers, they keep coming back. They trust you. They don't even give you problem. Honestly, this 20%, they will not even give you problem. They will keep coming back. And when you have a new, they're always there to patronize you and everything. So 80% of your revenue will come from this vital few, and 20% of your revenue will come from the trivial many. So you have large customer base that they always give you problem, they always be the ones complaining and everything. So the basic thing this really saying is just to channel your energy on these 20% that would always come back, that would always come back. So you think of ways to provide better value for these people. The lessons I learned from this book is I'm going to be sharing them now. Okay, so the first lesson is a small number of skills are responsible for majority of your daily career, or should I say educational success. Now what this is saying is you only need a number of skills to accomplish projects successfully, to pass the exam successfully. Hence, Robert Koch is saying, you should find out these skills that you need, focus on improving these skills, focus on becoming better at these skills, and this will result in a better performance at work, in school, in building your brand, in building your business, in whatever thing you're doing. Just find the important skill that would help you up your game. You don't have to be the one that is doing everything, but find the one that is important to that particular thing you're doing and be the best, have the best skill in that. So for people that are entrepreneurs, the next thing I learned is reduce your opportunity costs by getting rid of bad customers and retaining your best ones. Now, as indicated by Robert Koch, you can apply the 80-20 rule to your business endeavors, and especially in the sector of customers, Now, we know that not all customers are equal in business. There are some that are high value and the other ones that are low value, as I said earlier. And the ones that are high value are really enthusiastic about your products. They are loyal to your brand. And the low value ones would be the ones to give you problems, honestly. So to apply this 80-20 rule, just identify customers who are of low value. Not like get rid of them totally. I wouldn't advise that because they're still your customers. But like channel your energy more on the ones that are high yield. And the ones that are low yield, just like give them energy, but don't give them all your energy. Honestly, that's just what I would say. Because if I'm following Robert Koch is trying to say you guys should get rid of them, and honestly, don't get rid of them over in Nigeria. But anyways, yeah. So the third and the final thing I'm going to say is from the book is let go of irrelevant activities so as to free up your time and resources for the critical few that matter. So as we you know find out activities that are important to us succeeding, you should also find out the ones that are like that just take out our time, that really have no use to providing us value. And that's because like you have like just 24 hours and you have like things you have to accomplish. So therefore, if you have goals, okay, let's say you have a to-do list, find out the ones that okay you have to achieve that day. So I gave like a kind of like where you can use this role basically as a student or entrepreneur. So you should like, okay, first of all, get a piece of paper, write a list of 10 things that you want to do, and on that list, like you look at that list and like, okay, what are the top 2 things that if I finish doing today, if I achieve them, it will be enough for me, I would feel satisfied. When you can circle out those 2 things, then make sure you focus all your energy on them and try to get it done. Most of the time, they will be the hardest things, honestly, to accomplish. But when you accomplish them, you feel so satisfied. You'd even feel more satisfied than if you had accomplished the remaining 80 the remaining 8, sorry, not 80, but like that's where the 80-20 rule comes in. And I'm not going to say that okay, this rule would work for everybody. We're just like, we're all learning and we're all trying things, so it may not necessarily work for you. And if it does work for you, that's fine, depending on what sector of or whatever your career of choice is. But I find it that it works for me really well. I want you to try it and like let me know. You can just leave me a comment on Spotify if it does work for you. I'll be really glad to know that okay, yes, it really works for some people. And if it doesn't work for you, it's really, really fine. And just for you to know that okay, it's not always 80-20. Sometimes it can be 70-30, sometimes it can be 90-10. It's not like a fixed number. But then the 80-20 rule was like founded by the Wilfredo Pareto. I hope like you literally picked 1 or 2 things from this episode. If you did, please follow us on Instagram at Sweet and Sour Pod, like our posts, comment. Thank you for people who signed up for the podcast training. We've successfully completed the first batch of the podcast training. And if you're interested in taking a podcast training and interested in me being your coach in that, my DM is always open on Instagram. You can message me and I'll add you to the wait list so that when I'm doing another training, you'd get to know first. Until next time, sweetie, this is a great day to win.